possible that she might actually be black? And the best way that I know how to describe this, and I want to be very careful here, because I don't want to say that it is equivalent to the transgender experience, but there is a useful language in trans and cis, which is just to say some of us are born cisgendered, some of us are born transgendered, but I wonder, can it be that one would be cis black and trans black? That there is actually a different category of blackness that is about the achievement of blackness despite one's parentage. Is that possible?
Oh my gosh. All right, joining us now, I don't know anybody better to ask the question or to answer her question, is that possible? Then Michael Meyers, president of the New York Civil Rights Coalition, New York Daily News columnist. Hello, sir.
Good to see you.
All right, so what's your take on this whole bizarre situation?
It is bizarre. It's also hilarious. I've seen this movie. It was titled Soul Man. It was about a white male kid, who wanted to go to Harvard, and he had the grades, but he needed a scholarship. So he painted himself, or tanned himself, right, to be black. And as a black student at Harvard, he fell in love with a black student, female, who was the person whose scholarship he took. So she was working in the kitchen or the cafeteria as a worker. And he felt, as he fell in love with her, he felt guilt about depriving her of her scholarship. So I've seen this movie. I think it's hilarious. It was a hilarious deception in the movie, and it's a hilarious deception in real life.
All right, so, but what do you make of this talk comparing it to, you know, if someone could be a 45-year-old male or a 60-year-old male or 65 and say, I'm really a woman, and go into the woman's bathroom when there's an 8-year-old girl there and be legitimate, then why can't theoretically, why can't a white woman say, I feel like a black woman and be a black woman?
Why not?
So you think she could?
If Elizabeth Warren can be Native American, if Bruce Jenner can be a woman, hey, you want some more ifs?
All right, so
so I look, what's wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it.
But of course she's not really black.
Well, it depends on
what really is what's inside your blood.
No. Race is a social construct. Who determines whether or not you're white? Who determines whether or not I'm black?
Well, wait a minute.
Who determines
I'll tell you.
that?
If I have two white parents, I'm white.
No, because there is no such thing as white anymore. And it does all, everybody's mixed. So you can, everybody's mixed.
If you know where your grandparents and great-grandparents came from, okay, and they came from Europe, they're not mixed.
Everybody came from Africa.
Oh,
so everybody's African American.
All right.
I mean, the point is, you can carry this thing to a point of absurdity.
Right.
And because race is a social construct. And it seems to me, if you identify as black, if you identify as white, if you identify as anything you want, it's fine, except with the deception, because I don't think it's a big deal. It's no big deal to do this, except it's a big deal for the race industry. You know why? Because they are vested in checking those boxes in government forms.
Right.
And they're vested in checking boxes for purposes of diversity. And the question, therefore, is if you're going to start checking boxes and changing your racial identity or your affiliation or affinity, how often can you do it?
Well, Jeb Bush put down Hispanic on his voting thing, right?
That's right. So if he considers himself
Hispanic,
Hispanic,
so your definition.
he's
Hispanic.
All right.
So what is? Tell me your definition of being black.
I don't have a definition for being black. If you think you're black, as far as I'm concerned, you're black. If you're a woman in a man's body and you want to call yourself a woman, you're a woman. I have no problems with this. I'm a liberal.
Oh my God. I never know. You and I used to agree on everything. Now I don't know what the heck you're going to say.
Let me tell you a quick story about the NAACP in terms of race being a social construct. And perception is everything. When I was on the national staff of the NAACP as assistant national director, we had an integrated staff. Herb Hill, I don't know if you remember his name, he was our labor director. He was white, but he spoke as if he were black. He always gave speeches, an eloquent speaker, and he used to talk.
Hillary does that once in a while, too.
Well, no, he didn't talk black. He didn't talk black. He identified as being black. He was very eloquent.
Spoke as if he were black.
Yes, because in the speeches he would say, "We blacks, we African Americans." You see, and so he used to go after the labor unions and the construction industry and say, they're anti-black, and I'll tell you why. So when he finally left the NAACP after many years, he went to teach African American history at the University of Wisconsin. And his students, and I know this because I was having dinner at a black friend's home in Washington, D.C., and this student from the University of Wisconsin was there talking about this great, powerful black professor at the University of Wisconsin. I said, what's his name? I said, no. He said, he used to be at the NAACP. I said, what's his name? Herb Hill. And I laughed. Race is perception.
Okay, Donald Trump running for president.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm nonpartisan.
You're nonpartisan?
I'm nonpartisan.
Well, what does that mean?
That means I have no opinion about
No,
Donald Trump.
nonpartisan means you should welcome Trump without saying, oh, he's a Republican. Doesn't mean you have no opinion.
No, I don't welcome any of them.
So you don't like anybody who's running in either
I don't
party?
welcome any of them.
But what do you think of? You're a New Yorker. He's a New Yorker. You have no opinion on him running for
So is
president?
Hillary. Hillary's a New Yorker
she's
too.
a New Yorker, right?
Yeah.
Carpetbagger.
If I were to give my opinion about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, I would not be nonpartisan.
That's not true.
Yes, it would be.
No,
Because
one's a Democrat, one's a Republican. You would be nonpartisan.
No.
If you're trashing them both, you'd be the definite. See? What if you think you're nonpartisan, but you're a born partisan?
It's the way I identify. I am nonpartisan. When it comes down to the Republican field and the Democratic field, you can have all of them.
Well, you're not going to have to vote for somebody, but you should vote for somebody.
No, I don't have to do anything but stay black and die. Remember that saying?
Oh my gosh! By the way, this woman sued, a university claiming racial.
When she was at a predominantly black
But she
college.
drew herself with a brown crayon when she was 5. She says now, so she always identified as black.
Her 15 minutes of fame.
All right, fair enough. Good way to end it. Donald Trump spoke highly of you. I don't understand it. All right, folks. Michael Meyers, ladies and gentlemen.
Call me.
All right, the Malzberg panel is next with Heather Hansen and Jessica Tarlov. Don't miss it.